It's official. Cody Rhodes should have turned heel last week because nobody on this planet is going to boo Randy Orton no matter what he says, no matter what he does. We're just gonna cheer him. And this is your one take, one shot review. Randy's listening to the voices in his head so he can become the 15-time champion. He said all the smiles he got from high-fiving the kids, well, it was an empty smile, and he would rather be a champion. Would you rather be a champion as well? Because you can win this championship on my shoulder. At 20,000 subscribers, and it's only 400 more to go, I'm gonna give away this belt live on a live stream. And how do you win? All you gotta do is comment below and be a subscriber, and you can win this, not a toy, but a replica belt. Let me put it down. We gotta keep going. No takes, no cuts. All right, so Randy Orton was the thread throughout the show, and I really do appreciate when they have a wrestler appear more than one time. So I really like that Randy was throughout the entire show. I'm going to give this show a B+, but an A for effort. They did a lot of things right in this show, or they moved in the right direction. I think there was like 4 or 5 matches. I'm going to do the matches by themselves, and we're going to talk the segments. And I've got to say this. Gotta eat my words. Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll has officially been put on the list of celebrities that I'm okay with. Bad Bunny, the guy who fought Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 38, the guy who does stunts. I always forget his name for some reason. The Arrow guy, Bad Bunny. Did I say Bad Bunny? And Logan Paul. And now Jelly Roll. He had a good segment, and I'm actually enjoyed him. Fine, whatever. You win, Jelly Roll. You are now on my celebrity A-OK list. Maybe I'll talk about him more in tomorrow's hot takes if you boys and gals leave hot takes. But let's talk Randy Orton, and then we'll go throughout the whole show. Randy Orton. He comes out, right, and he puts his chair down, and nobody is booing this guy. He's telling us that he doesn't care about the kiddos. Nobody boos him. They're all singing. He says, yeah, it felt good when you guys sang my song, but, basically it'll feel better when I'm champion. And that was pretty much the promo. He was just like, I gotta be champion. When Cody said he was gonna relieve me of the responsibility of being his friend, I just went all in. And that was the segment at first. But then later, he runs into Matt Cardona, and he's like, you got something to say? And Matt Cardona, who was Zack Ryder from back in the day, is like, hey, man, how you gonna do that to Cody? We've known each other for decades. And it's like, wow, they have known each other for decades. Like, I'm old. I remember when they first met each other. And then Randy beats him up, calls him an internet nerd, an indie nerd, a mark for himself, plays with toys. And, no judgment here. I got a bunch of toys right there. And then he leaves. And eventually Jelly Roll is going to come up to Randy. And Randy is like, hey, man, sorry about last week. And Jelly's like, I got nothing. I can't judge you. I can't judge you. But this dude I'm seeing right now, I don't even know him. Jelly Roll cuts a good promo. If Jelly Roll ever wants to, stop with the country thing, he sings country, right? He could definitely be a modern day Captain Lou Albano. Honestly, he cuts a really good promo. And him and Randy, he kind of talks, and it seems like he's going to talk Randy into turning back to the good side. We see a phone conversation. Who's on the phone just did an interview. Or I just did a video about who's on the phone with Randy Orton, so go check that out. Forgot to put Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes' running buddy, in Legacy, and he did just get found innocent. He was in some fraud case in Alabama or something. I don't know where it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I can't look it up because I do no cuts on this. But Ted DiBiase is now a free man. Therefore, we could insert him into this storyline. So maybe it's Ted DiBiase Jr. on the phone. Hey, you know what? Then I can give away this belt right here, too. I can celebrate with this belt if it's Ted DiBiase Jr. Just happened to have that back there, by the way. That was just coincidence. I didn't even think about mentioning him. Anyways, But then, he's on the phone with somebody, and he's like, yeah, I got to make this right. So Randy then goes out to the back, or goes back out into the ring. 2 promos one night. That's crazy. He goes back out to the ring, and then he basically says, I want to apologize. He high-fives all the kids. Every single person, except for Joe Tessitore, knew that Randy is playing everybody, and we all know what's going to happen. He calls out Matt Cardona to apologize, and he's like, Matt, I'm sorry, so sorry. And Matt's a little timid, but eventually he hugs him, and then he just kicks him. Randy Orton kicks him in the nuts and beats him up. He will put him on the steel stairs like he did to Cody last week. All the officials run out. Nick Aldis is like, come on, Randy, you gotta, this isn't you. Think about your future. And Randy's like, I don't know. And then he beats up Matt Cardona some more, puts his arm in the a steel chair. They hold him back for a little. Randy's like, I'm good. And then he stomps. On the steel chair. Matt Cardona's like, ow. Okay, so I love Matt Cardona. I do love Zack Ryder from back in the day. Well, it's kind of, he wasn't my favorite, but he wasn't, I liked him. He was entertaining, right? He was definitely a really good mid-card guy. And I know he has a lot of history now on the indie scene. He's the king of the indies. But the thing about it is, since he's come back from WWE hasn't treated him like a big deal. So for Randy to beat up Matt Cardona, I don't know. I don't think he was the right one to get Randy heat. Because honestly, when Randy stomped on the steel chair, the crowd was chanting one more time. If they want Randy to get heat, he should have done it to either R-Truth, Jelly Roll, or Danhausen. Honestly, for Randy to get heat, he has to go after somebody that the crowd absolutely loves. Now, I don't know if the crowd really loves Jelly Roll as much as that, but at least it would get mainstream media heat, and their relationship going back to SummerSlam last year, maybe we get some heat there. But honestly, those are the 3 people that they should have got. And you're like, well, Danhausen and Randy aren't even in a connected. I mean, Danhausen just appears. He could have just appeared and made Randy mad. You know what I mean? The crowd is really into Danhausen right now. So basically, you got to give Randy someone to that the crowd is into to attack, because WWE has treated Matt Cardona as an afterthought, so of course the fans are going to be cheering Randy on. They don't care about Matt for the most part. I know there's some Matt Cardona fans out there, but I'm saying for the most part, the audience is going to side with Randy. But end of the day, they did the Randy heel turn. He did all the things a heel would do, but nobody wants to boo him. I stand by the fact that they should have flipped Cody Rhodes. Cody still had some fans, and Cody could have betrayed those fans. And there's already fans who are booing Cody Rhodes, so it's they should have went all in on on Cody being the villain here, because now we have almost a John Cena situation from last year, where the fans don't really want to boo Randy Orton. He's hit that legacy, no pun intended, status where nobody wants to boo him. And it's I'm going to enjoy him regardless. I will enjoy this heel Randy Orton, but it is kind of I don't know. I honestly like when the crowd boos who they're supposed to boo. It just adds something. With that little period when Dominic Mysterio was getting cheered, but they were still making him a heel, I don't know, it took away something special from his heel dumb. And I just wish that, I really do think they should have flipped Cody Rhodes. It would have been so much more interesting to have heel Cody versus face Randy, because, they're not doing it. So who knows? Maybe we get the double turn at Mania, and Cody turns to the dark side, even though I don't like when you flip somebody and then you flip them back in a month. That's Big Show stuff right there. Yeah. Either way, what's done is done. Nobody wants to boo Randy. What do you think? At this point, when you see everybody cheering Randy Orton still, do you boys, do you girls think that they should have probably done Cody now? Let me know in the comments below. Other things that happened on the show was we opened with a car crash. It seems, we don't know for sure, but it looks like Drew McIntyre had smashed the car of Jacob Fatu. And we get into a brawl. Drew pulls him out and starts beating up on Jacob Fatu out of the windshield. He pulls him out of the windshield, basically. And he beats him up. He goes to the ring and he says, "What'd you expect? You know, he cost me in my match, and now I'm just crashing out." Nick Aldis like, "Stop it." Then Jacob comes out. They fight. They brawl. Jacob gets the best of Drew McIntyre, and then he leaves. And it's like, interesting. Like, that was a pretty horrific car crash that Jacob is now beating up Drew McIntyre after. But regardless, throughout the whole night, we see them, I think, we see them kind of fighting one more time, just like brawling in the backstage, like, okay. And then at the end of the show, after Randy attacked Zack Ryder, we run to the back where we see it's really campy because there's a fence and all the officials are like, don't do it. Like, nobody's trying to get around the fence or climb the fence. But we see on the other side of the fence, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre fighting on something that's like elevated, and they fight to the point where they both fall off. And it's like, oh my God, are they dead? Who knows? And then that's the end of the show. That's why it's A for effort. There was a lot of chaotic stuff. I think we need to write it a little bit better to make it a little more realistic. But whatever. Like I said, moving in the right direction. So Jacob and Drew McIntyre definitely have a war going on, and I think we're going to need to add a stipulation to this fight that is a brewing. And then the next best thing on the show was Danhausen and Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson. But Danhausen was part of this. We have Kit and The Miz. It looks like The Miz has found his protege in Kit Wilson. Danhausen wants to still be the protege of Miz. And Miz is like, no, we are not doing this. And Miz also revealed that he's had a really bad week, from a sunburn to his flight getting canceled or his trip getting delayed in Florida, all these things. And so when Danhausen appears and Miz is like, no, we're not doing this. And what was funny is, at one point, Miz turns around after Danhausen is gone and a ladder goes to fall and he catches it. He's like, because he's having bad luck. He's like, that's not going to happen. And then he turns around again and the ladder just falls on him. And that ladder could have literally been held up by nothing because there was no wall or anything. So it's just funny that this ladder suddenly just fell on him out of nowhere. But yeah, so I'm thinking it's going to be Danhausen, Jelly Roll versus Miz and Kit Wilson at WrestleMania. And I kind of want that match now. We will have Kit Wilson go to the ring. He calls out Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll comes, let's get in a fight. And Kit Wilson's like, we're not going to fight. We're gonna do this, settle this like men. And he's like, you're gonna rap? He's like, no, I'm not rapping. We're doing slam poetry. And then Kit Wilson proceeded to really tear into Jelly Roll. I don't know if Jelly Roll was prepared or not, but he looked genuinely shocked at some of the things that Kit was saying. How he's like, he made fun of him for using Ozempic. He made fun of him for basically, if you lose a lot of fat really quick, you have a lot of excess skin. I don't know if Jelly Roll does or not. I've never seen him without a shirt. But, like, if he did lose, I would assume he does have a lot of excess skin. And Kit called him like a blob of skin. So Jelly Roll looked really shocked. And at one point, then Jelly Roll rebuttals and starts making fun of Kit Wilson's mom. I'm really surprised. It was pretty risque for WWE's PG primetime TV spot. And Jelly Roll makes fun of Kit Wilson's mom, and eventually Kit Wilson just attacks him. And Kit Wilson, what a real man. First using his words to fight his battles, but then defending his mom. Jelly Roll is so toxic here. And Kit Wilson attacks Jelly Roll and beats him up. Good spot for Kit Wilson. Hopefully this gets some mainstream attention. And then we're going to have a matchup next week with those two. The next big thing was Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley finally had an entertaining segment. We had Jade saying, without wrestling, you're nothing, right? She's like, without wrestling, you're nothing. And Rhea kind of said, yeah, you're kind of right. Not in so many words. She's like, wrestling is everything to me. So, and she's like, that belt, like, it needs me now because of the damage you've done to it. I'm paraphrasing here. And Rhea, Jade's like, about to make fun of Io, and then Rhea stops her and says, you don't have the right to make fun of anybody, talk about anybody in the back. And Jade's like, I'm here to make money, not friends. She walks in the back, but then we see Meacham and who's the other one? B-Fab, they're coming out, but then suddenly Jade turns back to her attention to Rhea, and now it looks like those three are aligned. They go after Rhea and basically give her a beatdown, and I thought that was good. Having Jade with some minions will add a lot to this. I think it will add a lot to her character and this. So, like, was not feeling Rhea and Jade until tonight. Tonight was a big first step into me liking where we're going with this feud. It's not there yet. They've had 3 segments and only one of them been good. So I need to wait and see. Match wise, we had the worst match, the Motor City Machine Guns versus Fraxium. I'm sorry. I know they're great. I used to love the Motor City Machine Guns in TNA. I just don't care. I really just don't care. WWE is giving me nothing to care about these guys with. I will say, though, I did like that Candice, who got swindled out of $20 from Danhausen earlier, when Danhausen was like, hey, what's wrong with him? And she's like, can you fix him? And Danhausen's like, do you got money? And she gives him a 20, and then he just runs away. But Candice helps the Motor City Machine Guns win. Then we have Nia and Lash versus the Bellas. Again, don't really care about this match. It's kind of a repeat of last week when the Bellas interfered to cost the Alexa and Charlotte. But this time it was Alexa and Charlotte who interfered to cost the Bellas. And now next week they're going to fight. Lash and Nia are really good champions, but didn't care about this. MFTs and Damian Priest and Truth. That match is up next. Truth and Damian Priest are your winners, and the downfall of Damian Priest is solidified now, because you get, people will justify, well, he's a champion. It's like, yeah, but I mean, no. Damian Priest went from winning the world championship at WrestleMania to just a tag team throwaway match. He is champion. And the Wyatts got involved. And it's like, I don't know why we didn't do this. So we're having this match, right? And the Wyatts are there. And apparently any 5 members of the Wyatts can defend the tag team titles. And I get it. There's a Freebird rule where any 3 members of a 3-person faction can. But come on, any 5 of the 5 members? That's a little ridiculous. But anyways, they're fighting, right? And the Wyatts, they come out from the back. I thought this was dumb. This was a great opportunity to give the Wyatts some of their lost aura, in that what we should have done was, if the Wyatts were going to come out to attack the MFTs to distract, so that Uncle Howdy could come and try to get his lantern, what we should have done was the MFTs are surrounding the ring, and suddenly they're sucked under the ring. Right? They're pulled under the ring. We should have had the Wyatts under the ring and pulling them, right? Like, kind of dragging them to hell like The Undertaker did. And everyone's going to be like, what's going on? What's going on? It's like, whoa, and just getting pulled. That would have been cool. And then the Wyatts could have, kind of came out. Or Uncle Howdy at least could have came out. And it's like, what happened to the MFTs? And then they could have lost. Because what happened, though, was 3 members just came out of the back. They met them. They brawled. Everything's a brawl. And then Uncle Howdy tried to get the lantern. I think Tamatonga. See, who's in the ring? It's Tamatonga and JC Mateo. Hate that name. They prevent Solo, or they prevent Uncle Howdy from getting the lantern. So this feud continues. Yay. And then JC Mateo, hate that name, takes the pin. He eats the loss. New champions. And the story here is the lantern is still with the MFTs, but they lost the belt, and this feud just just never ends. And it's like, we could have done, just pull them under the ring, just add just a little. They're going to fight them anyways. But then later we will see Tama Tonga be like, you got to give that lantern back. And Solo's like, no. And because Solo just yelled at them for losing. And Tama's like, you're acting like Roman. He's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? And then they were interrupted by Drew and Jacob fighting. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe this is Solo going back to Roman saying, you know what, Roman, I see the challenges you had as a tribal chief. And you know what? I'm back. Because it looks like we're reforming the bloodline. And then after that, what did we have? Another match was Carmelo versus Ilya Dragunov. That was probably technically the best match of the night. But I'm putting Sammy and Aleister Black as my favorite match of the night because of Trick Williams. We'll talk about Trick in a second. Second best match of the night was Ilya and Carmelo Hayes. It was a banger match. Technically, it was the best match. But I prefer story over matchups. And I like the story of Sammy Black and Trick better. But Ilya and Carmelo Hayes, they told the story as well, and surprisingly, Carmelo Hayes won. I was a little afraid they were going to give back the belt to Ilya because they've been doing the story with trying to build Ilya up mentally. Ilya lost tonight, so who knows what happens there. Maybe Ilya turns heel because of this, but Carmelo Hayes beat Ilya here, and then the final matchup we're going to talk about is so Aleister Black comes out, who is pretty much Karrion Kross, and then Sami Zayn comes out. Right before the bell rings, or the bell does ring, I can't remember. Trick Williams comes out. He does this whole entire entrance, which is hilarious. He sits down next to commentary. He should have done commentary. He's so good on the mic, but before this, also, he was like, hey, if you're lucky, I'll pencil you in for a match. I'll watch you, though, and I'll give you some pointers. And so anyways, he's out there the whole time. At one point, Sami Zayn's out there, and he throws his drink on Sami. Sami turns around, and Trick points to his cup, like, just to make sure you know it was me. And throughout the whole match, sometimes he'll just stand on the announce and go, whoop that Trick. It's hilarious. I love Trick Williams. I'm telling you, I wish he was main eventing WrestleMania. I don't care how young he is or how long he's been on the roster. I want to give the keys to the kingdom to Trick Williams right now. He is so freaking entertaining, in my opinion. And he definitely made this. And then he distracted Sami long enough for when Sami gets in and Black Mass kick, Aleister Black wins, and that's it. I think that's everything that kind of really sort of happened on SmackDown tonight. And like I said, I'm gonna give this show a B+. I can see someone giving it an A, though. A for effort. B+, though, is the final grade. Good show. Very solid. Definitely, you could watch it. Just skip some of the matches. Only matches you want to watch. If you want a really technically sound match, Ilya and Carmelo, but definitely watch Trick Williams with Sami and Black. And then the Randy Orton stuff's pretty good, too. So, all right, boys. All right, girls. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate every single one of you, except for that person in the corner over there. I don't appreciate you, sir. No, I'm joking. I appreciate you. All right, boys. All right, girls. See you. Bye.